What's happening? What's happening? What's going on? What's good? Part of my presence YouTube channel. I want to go over what's happening right now because Kevin Hart has come out once again and tried to defend himself from people who are saying that he's not funny. Now, first I want to just go over what he said in response, okay? He put up something, I think it was Twitter, if I'm not mistaken. But what he said is that, first of all, he started off the line with, "I got time today." Now, under normal circumstances when it comes to comedians, when they have that as opening line, you're like, yo, something's going to be said that's funny, provocative, interesting, thought-provoking, something. But this is what he goes on to do. The "he's not funny" slander is the best. This is for you. I have 3 stand-up comedy specials that fall in the top 10 highest grossing comedy specials of all time. 2 of my specials are in the top 3 of all time. Blah, blah, blah. So in other words, he leads with stats. Success from numbers. That's something an Eminem fan would say. Eminem is the best rapper because he sold the most records within his time. Sold more than KRS-One, sold more than Biggie, right? Sold more than Jay-Z, so he's the best. That's the argument that he's using here. Because of his success, that means he's funny? That's not really a good argument. But let's keep going with this, okay? Then he says, "I have been the highest grossing comedian in entertainment for years now. I've also been the highest grossing comedian in the box office with $4 billion in earnings. You guys are what makes this business fun." So in other words, he's not even saying that he's fun. He's telling his audience or his critics that they're funny. And to be honest, he's right. The critics are probably more funny than he is. But I'll get to Kevin Hart in a moment as far as the criticism. I'll get to him in one moment. So he goes on. Because it's not about getting to the top, it's about doing your best and staying on top after you get there. Right? He says that. Then he says, "I really talk shit. You really tell a joke too, brother." But let's keep going. "But I feel the need today. Stop believing those headlines and read the articles, the actual articles. You guys fall for the banana and the tailpipe trick every damn time. J. Cole said it best, if you're laughing at the millionaire, the joke's on you." Now that's a very good point. If you are making fun of a millionaire, if you are spending your time trying to discredit someone who's already rich, yes, you could say the joke's on you as far as when you're comparing someone's success. But I don't think anyone's arguing that they're successful as Kevin Hart is. I think the point that people are trying to say is that even though you're making all this money in your profession, you're not considered a respectable comedian based on the fact that you're not funny, relatively speaking. But let's keep going now. It says, "Now back to the regular scheduled program, live, love, and laugh." Something that none of us did after reading this particular statement. Now, I want to get into something about Kevin Hart, okay? There are people who are not funny people. And you know the difference because there's a lot of people who are just naturally funny. Everything they say it becomes a joke. Whether you're laughing with them or at them, or it might be unintentional where people just have a way of communicating that just makes them funny, right? Cat Williams is someone that's like that. Dave Chappelle, you could say, is another person that's like that as well too. But then you have some people who are dead ass serious and are only funny when the cameras turn on, or only funny when the director yells action, or is only funny when the check clears. And some might say that's Kevin Hart. I'd say maybe it's Eddie Murphy, based on how Eddie Murphy's acting now, but even Eddie Murphy's kind of slipping as well too. But there are those comedians that are dead serious when we speak to them in interviews, when we see them in interviews, but their movies are pretty funny, and when they have certain things that they say or in the public, they appear kind of funny. But Kevin Hart is not one of those either. Because there are times where Kevin Hart tries to be funny. He tries to put out a performance. But it falls short because many times he's overacting and he keeps playing the same joke over and over and over again. And that's him playing up his stature. The fact that he's short. How many times can you go back to that well and tap it before people convince you that, yo, that well is dried up? You can't keep going back to your height. It's no longer funny, man. But on top of that, here's the one thing that I think people need to understand about Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart is one of those guys that is serious, and he's that way because of what's happened to him in his life. He's had many scandals. He's had a divorce. He's been caught cheating several times. He was blackmailed by one of his closest friends. He almost got canceled by the LGBT community. Didn't get a chance to host, I guess, one of his lifelong dreams, the Oscars. Has beef with Michael Blackson. So there's been a lot of things that's happened to his life. Oh, got into that whole drama where he broke his back because he got into a car accident and he left his friends in the car while he walked home and claimed he has a broken back. So there's been a lot of scandals in Kevin Hart's life. That's really serious scandals that could have ruined his career, ruined his livelihood. And I think as a result of all of those trials and tribulations that he's been through, he's become someone that's bitter. He's become someone that doesn't want to make people laugh. He may not realize that. He might not have the self-awareness to understand that because the money doesn't stop. The views don't stop. The success doesn't quit. But there's going to come a time where Kevin Hart's going to realize that, hey, all of those accolades that you're throwing out at people, bragging, that's going to dry up. That's going to subside. And then when that happens, what are you going to rely on? At that point, what is your argument to say that, yes, actually I am funny? You won't have that. Here's one thing I'll say about this that pretty much sums up everything. If you ever question whether or not Kevin Hart is funny, put it this way. Explain to me how it makes sense that a comedian who wants to respond to accusations of him not being funny responds in a way that's completely and totally unfunny. He responds in a way that's completely and totally serious. Deadpan serious. You'd think, as someone who doesn't really take what people say seriously, you come out and make jokes about it. You crack yourself up and crack everybody else up. You would come up with a one-liner to discredit people, at the same time make light of everything because you are successful. But no, he decides to lead with a condescending, dry, deadpan, serious statement instead of being the comedian that he claims to be. And that is a funny comedian. So I'm going to leave it at that. You let me know if you agree, disagree. How do you feel about Kevin Hart? Do you find him funny? Do you find him not funny? Do you find that his time has passed? He's lost it? Or just become a bitterly serious man and eventually will affect his career going forward? You let me know. Like, comment, subscribe. Until next time, pardon my presence. May your next move be your best move in everything that you do. Peace.